Okay, good morning. I have a Teresa hair right there. Before we get started today, if you follow my Instagram, you will see or know that we had an accident yesterday. Nobody got hurt, thankfully, other than the gravity wagon. Yeah, the gravity wagon got broke. I'm pretty sure I know why the gravity wagon broke, but I'm not going to say why it broke. But my father, he always had this awesome saying, when we were kids, my dad would say, "Come on, let's go. We got to get going. Got to milk cows, whatever we're doing." And we would always reply with, "Wait, wait, wait," because we didn't want to walk. It wasn't far to walk, and it was a well-beaten path between home and the dairy barn. So he would always say, "Wait's what broke the wagon," and then walk out the door, and we would all be left trailing behind, the three of us, me and my sisters, Holly and Wendy. Ella was younger at the time. I don't ever remember Ella having to run after that pickup truck. For some reason, she was treated a little differently. She may have. But anyways, weight's what broke the wagon. Well, these wagons it was a 12-ton gear under there, and I've had lots of troubles with this particular running gear. Is it Kill Brothers or Kill Bros? And my father, he had another good zinger yesterday as the cop is standing there. And I don't know, the cop said something. And these guys are like stoic, waving traffic on. Turns out that the cop that was there, the one officer, police officer, his mother, I guess he was related to Rungies up here on the corner by the high school. And I said to him, I said, "Well, my mother went to school with Rungies, and I said, 'How old are you?' Because he seemed like he was a fairly young fella. He says, 'I'm 31. It's about the most you could get out of this guy. He's just like, 'I'm 31. And he said he named off 3 children, and I didn't recognize any of them. But my mother actually went to school with his grandmother, Liz. His mother's name was Pat. So if he's watching this or knows anybody, but Pat Runge, Pat or Liz Runge was the grandmother. So my mother is 72. She'll probably shoot me in the head for saying that, but probably not. But she's not going to be nice about saying how old she was. Yeah, she's 72. She has to be 72. She was born in 1940. No, she was born in 49. She'll be 72. She's 71, so she's going to shoot me in the head for saying 72 when she's only 71. She was born in 49. My father was born in 48. He is 72. My mother will be 72 in January. But anyway, enough of this crap. If you guys want to watch the rest of this video, nobody was hurt. The wagon was broke. The corn went flying. No cars were injured. The wagon was passing my father, and he bumped it with the tractor and caused it to go into the bank. There was a bank on this roadway, and he caused it to go into the bank because there was a car coming the other way. And this thing went over. When he bumped it, it hit the bank, and he must have passed it because when it hit the bank, it passed him because he passed it because it didn't hit the tractor at all, just the tires. There was a little bit of marks on the tires where he shoved it into the bank. Yeah, nobody was hurt. Cleaned it up in about half an hour or so. Start to finish, good friend of ours came by, and his tow truck just happens by. He's like, "Hey, you want me to drag that on here?" And we're like, "We got to clean it out first because I don't think your tow truck can handle it." And so we came with the 6210R. Timothy was already there with the grain truck, the one with the wagons on the back. He was already there with the grain truck, and we just scooped it from one to the other. And off the road, Teresa, Grant, Cody, Tim, Dave, myself, we got it cleaned up right quick. Dad went home. Like I said, he's 72 years old and didn't want to be there. So that was the accident. Gravity wagon's totaled. Gear is totaled. So I'm in the process of looking for another wagon. I found a Parker wagon, one with a 400 bushel Parker wagon, but a little bit more money than I want to spend. The brand new ones it's stupid for me to buy a brand new one. I don't need brand new. I was actually in the process of looking for one already because I was one short. Well, now I'm two short, so it's kind of screwing me up here. But there's a good one up here in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, and I'd like to go pick it up today. But who knows? We'll see. It's foggy. I might be able to do it. What do you want to bet? I mean, I can't. I can hardly even believe. Okay. So that's kind of poured into there with an epoxy. Micro switch, it says right on it. Freeport, Rhode Island, USA. How much you want to bet that doesn't exist anymore? Okay, so we got airflow through there. Want to see something weird? Just looks like toilet paper, don't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a bunch of crap in there.
Looks like it springs junk.
No, we got spider shit in it. See it?
Oh.
I'll bet you anything. That's our issue. This spider built a thing, or a bug of some sort. Dirt. Dirt. Because this thing is pretty sensitive. It's quite sensitive. Is that spring rotted off? That spring is rotted off.
Yeah.
Shit. That's a problem. That is going to be a problem. No, it's not rotted off. Don't I have a thing of springs over there? I have a whole thing of springs. It's not rotted off, but it's not happy. I think there was a hole gathered. I bet you that's the problem. Okay, so I kind of forgot to put the camera back on. This little spring was rotted off. There's like 3 pieces of it. That's for the micro switch for the pressure. So when the pressure drops inside the dryer, it shuts the whole dryer system off. Well, I didn't have a spring, so I made one. I took a pulling spring and stretched it. It was the right size, counted the loops, and everything was perfect, and it worked. So far it worked. It fit right in there like it was supposed to. And now I'm putting it back together, and I'm going to do the mouth test. You know, the mouth test. So there's like this really fine rubber membrane I don't want to destroy in here. Right here. So this is you can adjust the pressure of that spring. So if it's not quite right, well then I didn't quite do it right. I don't think I got it enough pressure, but we'll get it figured out. So I'll have to start the dryer up. What's that?
Is it in the truck?
No, it's at my mom's. Got busy here. I had a busted spring. I don't know if you can zoom in on this. Look who's driving. That's my son, William. He's driving. I took it out of gear so he can't go anywhere. But I just did want to talk. I did want to talk about my combine and how
I have heard over and over and over again, boy, that's a clean sample, that's a clean sample, that's a clean sample. Well, I honestly got to tell you, I don't know any different. New Holland has made the twin rotor combine for over 45 years, about the same age as me. I think they started in 1974. I was born in 72. So I've only ever known New Holland combines. I did run a John Deere. Had the opportunity to deal with a gleaner. Don't care for those. John Deere has always been a bit of a dirty machine. A lot of stalk material and cob. I agree. But the New Holland is good. Now you can open up those sieves and make it do stupid stuff like put corn in there. I think I'm getting a tractor in here, no? Not just yet. So anyway, I do want to say that if they're set up correctly, when they're set up correctly, this is what your cob should look like when it comes out. And I know Jeff Ramon, he runs New Hollands, and I know he had a TR96 at one time. Probably had a couple of them. They made them for several years, and that is my tractor and wagon. So what I wanted to say was, it cleans them right the heck off. And a little bit of shelling in the head. There's a couple of kernels here and there. When they're set up properly, then they're set up properly. So anyway, I better move because he's already here. And this thing is doing an awesome job. I'll get back to you. Alright, so I got the family in the cab with me. William on the floor, Teresa on the, I don't know, what you call that, a seat? Barely a seat, the steel thing, you know, it's real heavy, it's hard. It's hard. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, we're shelling corn, picking corn. I call it picking, a lot of people call it shelling. I used to just call it combining, you know, combining corn. We're combining corn. That kind of explains the whole ball of wax. This corn is doing pretty good. I don't know what I don't know what it is at the moment, but I'll just put it this way. It's doing well. It's doing extraordinarily well. We're about to hit the, what's it, 4A12. Yeah, this will be 1,200 bushels off of this little field here, and I'm only going from there to here. And one pass up the other end, and it's jamming up on me. Yeah. There's so much stuff here that it's just jamming. I'm going to raise the header all the way up. Maybe you can see this. That header is all the way up, and it's still unable to shuck it down. Still got a little bit of green in there, but the moisture on this is around 20 or less. They had the first that I did was 21, and 21 was in wetter corn. The stalks are drier, but the corn is wetter. It was a longer season. This is like 109 day, the other was 112. But it's really kind of pissing me off that it's jamming up there, because that's where you get shelling out in the head when it's fighting like that. Somebody made a comment that there's no fancy monitor in the cab with me. What do you think? Do you think there's any fancy monitors in here? Yield monitors. I know there's a lot of people out there that love to watch brand new machines run. This one is a 1991. This machine was made the year I graduated high school. I graduated high school, I was almost 19 years old, so I'm 48 now. No, it's what, 39 years old? 29 years old. Oh, I got a reunion coming.
Cool.
Yeah, I got a reunion coming. I think I'm actually going to go to this one. Yeah, I think I'll go to this high school reunion. But anyway, yeah, no fancy monitors in here. The only monitor that I do have would be right here, and that's the yield loss monitor, and of course the old school analog light system for two things that are working properly but not reading. One is the rotors. I broke a sensor, and I just haven't been able to replace it yet. And I don't care. I know how to run my rotors. The other one is the roller spreader, which is disconnected. So I disconnected that one. The roller, the spreader or the roller, they're both connected together, but they're disconnected in the back, so it's going to give me that false problem because I just don't have them operating. I am not running a chaff spreader or a straw chopper or a corn stalk chopper for the simple reason I don't need to. When I go to shred this stuff with my Henniker shredders, stalk shredders, it'll suck everything right up off the ground and it'll be good anyway. And I'm kind of hoping to grab some cobs too, but you know, there's cobs there. Actually, I don't even need to grab the cobs, to be quite honest with you. This is going for bedding, so it's a per ton thing, and I don't know, just don't need it. I just made the end of the row, one pass on a 9-acre field, and I'm almost, you know, up to the top of the glass, which is about 2/3 full. About 2/3 full. I won't make it all the way up. Dad's gonna have to come back here. Yeah, Dad's gonna have to come down here. Right, Will? Alright, so I guess that's what you're gonna get on cab view. I'll just shut up and Alright, can you make the auger go out?